Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show where I'll be breaking down the big mega cap stocks. So, if you're here for the first time, please hit that subscribe button. And on your way in, also hit that like button. That really helps out with YouTube algorithm. And now let's get right into the market. All right, so we have the CPI today, and it was a hot one. And you can see everything actually went up from consensus to even the forecast and even what numbers we had previously. And inflation just going higher. Copper just took off today. We got gasoline going up once again today, and the market, it seems like market does not care. You can see what happened here. It just not Iran and oil raising inflation. Prices are re accelerating in these other areas as well. So a lot of things, especially when it comes to food cost and energy cost, it's going really, really high. With that being said, we saw a V shape on the S&P 500 today. Look at Dow. Didn't even feel any effect from the inflation. Look at the declining here, 58.5%. Despite all that, Dow was up. 0.11%. Nasdaq down 0.71%. And at one point, it was down 2% almost. But look at the recovery here. I mean, I would not even call this a down day. S&P, you call this a down day? I mean, 0.16%. At one point, I think it was down nearly 1%, but the B shape, we'll talk about it. Russell was down 2%, I think 2.30%. Another B shape, they're only down 0.97%. 11 sectors. Well, basically, healthcare was leading today, consumer defensive energy, and the rest was pretty much down on the day. If you look at stock market map, what do we have here? Well, it's basically, healthcare names and some financial names, but semis and memory chips, they were down today, not by a lot. You can see MU, even though it was down to, I think, 706, something like that, it did recover end of the day, and Nvidia hitting brand new all-time high and then pulling back but finishing in the green. Microsoft, Oracle, they were down today. Apple was again holding up the market. Tesla was down, I think, 4%, but this one also did recover. And then we got Google and Amazon. Amazon is down over 1%. Google flat. Meta is slightly up on the day. And consumer defensive, especially these names, they were getting beaten down. Walmart, Costco. You got a PM, then you got KO, Pepsi. They're all up on the day. And now the way things are going up, we need to talk about it. So I think let's get started with Nvidia, guys. All right, so Nvidia stock was up 0.61%, and we got up to 223.75 today, a brand new all-time high. I think at that point, market cap was hitting almost $5.5 trillion, which is still now the biggest company on earth. And yes, Google did not take over, and I don't think it's going to take over. It was just for a moment that it actually took over. But knowing Nvidia, it's not going to allow anybody else to take over that market cap, well, at least for now, right? So brand new all-time high, also closing over previous all-time high, which is right here around 217. So technically, bulls are in control right here on Nvidia. And even though, yes, Nvidia is going up, I'm not really against this rally because Nvidia, yes, it came up a couple of gaps, but we did get that pullback. Where if you look at others, barely anything, right? Even on the S&P today, what we saw today was just a lot of FOMO kicking in. I mean, it was just basically not even a 1% move. I think we got down to 731, let's say 732. And then from there, what happened end of the day was a V shape, which was really amazing to see that. What's going to happen if that thing goes down like 20, $30? It was only down like few dollars, and it was like bunch of hyenas waiting, and they just smashed that that dip, and it came right back up. It was a V shape, right? So pullback was there. Did it last too long? Was there any follow through? Absolutely not. Same thing goes for Nvidia. You can see we came under that key support zone 217 to 215 ish, and we went right back up. So as long as 217 holds, expect more upside, maybe get back up over that 224 range. If that happens, we can possibly go into 230s. If we come back, support 217, and very soon this 5-day moving average will move up. So you're going to have really strong support here. Underneath that, watch out for 212, and then only then we can talk about possibly coming back down here, like 206 to 203. On AMD, it's down 2.29%. So look at where it actually came down, guys. I mean, this is just crazy. Look at this, 426, right? We came down to 426. Look at the rally. I mean, it's only down $10 on the day. Basically, it was just a dip. Look at what happened. Remember that support, the resistance where we got rejection multiple times, right around 430, 431. We came just below that, and look at this buying, insane buying, went right back up, and now sitting over the 5-day moving average right here. So what if you want to see a reversal, you want to see a massive bearish engulfing candle, something in this nature, like that, something like this, that would be a bearish candle. But do we actually have that? Nope, we don't have that. So if we get some sort of a big red bearish engulfing candle, then we can talk about a pullback. But as of right now, this was just intraday pullback. The hourly trend did not even flip to the downside, and they bought it back up. So AMD, again, this is going to be a key zone, that 438 support. As long as we're over that 5-day moving average, rally can continue back up to 470 and even higher. If it comes back, takes out that support 438, we do have support at 431 to 430. Underneath that, today's low, and I would say right here, right about 422 to 423, and then we can talk about possibly coming down to 402, and it's just not there. So we're just not gonna talk about it right now until we get there. As of right now, strong closing. A lot of people will say, this candle, this, that, hanging man, and all that crap. But look at the buying, guys. We cannot deny that, bears cannot even take just, you know, one day to the downside where they can fill maybe one gap. It's just not happening. So until that happens, it's not gonna flip to the downside. On Microsoft, is down 1.19%. So the software names got beaten down again. CRM, I think it's down to almost near that low 163, I think 170 or 171 where we closed. So that one, if you're looking, something long exposure, that might be the one to look into. Even Microsoft still, I think it's a good buy. We will see 600 plus in future here on Microsoft. But look at this. Even on weekly, guys, we have a head, we have the left shoulder, and this is the right shoulder. So if this plays out, we got to get over 430. That's when this will play out. And let's just measure if we get some sort of a move, let's say from down to the lows to the top of the range. Let's say we get a move and this head and shoulder actually plays out, where things can go. We can definitely go higher on that. So if it goes up, look at the move here, 500 plus, right? So that is a nice, uh, portion here. If you can actually catch this, and if this thing actually stays over that neckline here. So as long as we don't come down and start closing these gaps, move to the downside, I think it's looking pretty good. You can see even on daily, we have the head and shoulder a little bit sloppy, but it's still there. Also, you can call this somewhat of a bull flag. But if you ask me, chart wise, it's all over the place, right? We need a direction, whether this thing goes up over 430, breaks out, and then goes up. Another thing I want to point out, that Bollinger Band here, top one is coming down, lower one is right here at almost 406, and over time this will go up. So something big is going to happen on Microsoft. I don't know, maybe some sort of AI news that's gonna come in here, or some good news, some other way, some catalyst, something's gotta be there, right? Who knows? Maybe even a negative catalyst. That could be a possibility also. But when you see Bollinger Bands are squeezing like this, something big is about to happen. And knowing Microsoft and how this thing came down and we're just consolidating now, I would give, a little bit more benefit of the doubt to the bulls, maybe to the upside. But again, it's not 100% guaranteed, because you can see the trend is still pretty much down on a weekly time frame. and we're just chopping, not much really to look into. So this key support held again today, 406, 405. Underneath that, we have the 50-day moving average, which is moving up. You can see it's a positive slope. So if this thing continues to rise, it'll find support here, which is going to be around 398 to 400, and then we have this gap right about 395 to the upside. Now we need to get over 414, which where we got rejection today, and we have this gap from a few days ago around 419. So these are some upside target in the short term, but watch out for that downside target also to break this key zone 406 on Microsoft. All right, so just a quick reminder, guys. If you guys are really serious about trading and you want to get trade ideas like these ones that we took just recently, JPM calls from today, DRAM puts, SOXL, SOXX, bunch of things that actually paid today. JPM was really nice. And if you're really serious into trading and you want to get these types of trade ideas, head over to Patreon, and that link will be down below in the description for you guys. On Meta, it's up 0.69%. So just when you think it's going to break down, we went right back inside the box. So I'm going to extend the box, and you can see we're still inside the box. At one point, it actually broke down, and it was almost looking like it was going to come down and close the gap. But again, guys, a lot of fake outs here in this market. And you can see we went right back up. As a matter of fact, going green for the day. So 600 holding, that's going to be key support zone. We had a gap down a few days ago, and there's a gap at 606. If we can get over that gap, we fill the gap and we can stay over. Watch out for more upside 615 to 624.55, and then of course you can talk about this massive gap. But watch this key zone 600. If we close underneath that, there is some big selling. We will fill this gap at 575. On Google, stock is down 0.76%. So Google, I actually took a short position right about here, pretty much near all-time highs. And I think my video came out on Saturday, and somebody was like, it was a terrible idea to say that short Google and Amazon. And guess what? I locked in profit today because it was a decent move, guys. I mean, from almost 400 down to 379. And I'm usually when you short something, people get it wrong all the time. Like just because you're shorting, that does not mean that you don't like it, especially when it comes to the long side, right? These, overnight swing trade or a few days out, few weeks out, these are just short term. Anything you're shorting in the market is not long term, and that means you're just expecting this, massive move to the upside will come back in. You're just gonna make a little bit of money. But basically, everybody in the market goes long. You want to go to the long side. So that was the theory behind it. But some people, I guess, they don't learn. They think when you buy puts, you just want market to crash. That's not the thing. You just want a little bit of money, a little bit of profit off of that play because there is not much going on to the upside, right? So might as well go and short. And if I can get, that's what I got, like $15 out of it. That's enough for me. I'm not somebody who's greedy and just gonna hold till it comes down and fills all these gaps. Maybe I'll try back again if it goes back up. But it was decent. Amazon, same thing. It actually paid today. So a lot of the things, DRAM, that ETF, I showed it. $50 puts today was I think 48. So that one was also nice. SOXX socks, and then we have SOXL. That's another one. And only JPM I bought calls. Actually, I was live, and that was really fantastic. One thing to point out, guys, JPM did fill that gap from the first ceasefire announcement. Today, we fill that gap. So I don't know about SPY, but JPM is there. So that's a big stock. That's a market moving stock also. And XLF was really close to that gap as well. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll make a stock market update video, but that is the thing in the market right now. Google here, if you look at my screen, that 383 held like a champ. And now, if that's holding, we might go back up to 391.62 and possibly into these highs, 398. Now, if it comes down, gets under 383, then watch out for today's low to be taken out, 379 to 380. If that's out, you might be filling some of this gap from earnings right here on Google. And I think the run up is pretty big. So if it comes in a little bit, that's just an opportunity. That does not mean that me or anybody else who's making video, we're just bearish on Google. Actually, Google, when it was they were splitting last time, and even before that, grab a bunch of shares. And these are sitting on a long-term account, just sitting there making money. That does not mean that I'm just gonna wait on that money and not trade Google, right? There is a difference between long term and also your swing trade and your regular day trade, right? A few different things you got to follow if you're just trading in the market. You cannot just have one account and you're all over the place, right? You're doing everything. So that is my take on Google. I think this move is just getting digested, and I think if this thing breaks below this key zone, there will be downside. Otherwise, we got our pullback. We could be going back up for that all-time high again. On Amazon, stock is down 1.18%. So you can see Amazon also gave back a pretty decent amount from the top. And I think this is where I got in right here on this green candle right here on top, right about 276. And these were 270 puts, and you can see 262 came. So nice move to the downside. We did find support pretty much exactly at the 20-day. So 262 would be a key zone. Right here, you can see even previous rejection happened right here. If we go back up tomorrow, which looks like we might be, 268.48, this gap, if we can get over that, there will be more upside into that previous all-time high and possibly even higher. This 262 breaks, the next key zone would be right here, previous all-time highs acting as a support, 258, and underneath that, we can talk about much more downside here on Amazon. On Apple stock, it's up 0.72%. So Apple's not really stopping for anybody, closing near high of the session, and nothing against Apple. Clean breakout, and it's happening after a lot of consolidation, and no gap up and go, nothing crazy like AMU or a SanDisk and all that garbage stock. This is a quality stock, and that's the way it moves. A nice move to the upside. So still, I would like to see that previous all-time high holds as a support. So we're just gonna put, right here, 288.72. We need to hold on any pullback over that. If that happens, 295 breaks, we would be going up to 300 and possibly even higher. So not much to talk about here on Apple. Nice clean breakout, and we're just gonna wait for continuation if this thing continues back up to the upside. If we get under this support, then we can talk about a fake breakout. But as of right now, looks like a clean breakout. So we'll see how this week, how the stock actually moves this week. It just 1 day, 1 or 2 days, and we're still just in the process of going up to brand new all-time high. It can run, even higher, but we just have to watch and careful not to chase at all-time highs. On Tesla stock is down 2.60%. So Tesla, I actually picked up 450 calls at 426. Even yesterday, near these lows, I actually picked up 430 calls, but that was for a day trade, and even day traded today did not really hold these calls. And you can see we came all the way down to where? Well, the 5-day moving average, 423. Low for the day, 422.26, and we found support, went right back up, even holding 432.75. So that's a key zone. We're holding above all these levels as long as we remain over these levels. Now, key thing here, as long as we remain over 5-day and this 432, 433, it's still bullish for more continuation to the upside, maybe up into these areas right here, 450, and then even right here to close the gap at 474. To the downside, any pressure to the downside, we get under 433, then take out 5-day right here, 422. In that case, we would be filling the gap at 415.83 and then look for more downside, maybe into this gap. But as of right now, a really nice, strong response from the buyers when we got that dip today and even yesterday. And not to mention, Elon Musk is flying with the president right now, I think, to China. So we'll see if any good news comes out where this thing pops again. So Netflix, it was up today 2.59%. So nice move off of these big key support zone right here. But again, we're not out of the woods until I would see Netflix over 91.7, let's say 92. If that happens at some point, there will be more upside. As of right now, key zone to definitely hold right here, right over that $85 support zone. On Broadcom, it's down 2.13%. So you can see we came under that key support zone, but again, bulls were just too strong to hold over that. But again, I don't really like the way this thing is actually shaping out. So watch out that 413 breaks. We could be going for a move to the downside all the way down to 387, possibly even lower. If this thing holds up, then you need to take out especially high. This high point right here, 437 here. If that's out, then you're going to see continuation to the upside. We're above a daily 200 SMA by a big margin. So if this thing wants to come in a little bit, that's totally fine. That does not mean that we're just gonna go down and crash. But as of right now, no point of chasing at this level. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching.